Welcome back to Majestic Mondays. And today I want to talk about the version of you that keeps showing up in your mind. You know the one, the version of you that seems calmer, more confident, more expressive, more disciplined, more alive. The version of you that actually wakes up early. The version of you that takes care of themselves, travels more, posts that content, wears the outfit, goes outside, sets those boundaries, stops settling. That version. Because I think a lot of us spend so much time admiring future versions of ourselves, which isn't bad, right? But we don't realize that version of us is being built through the choices we make right now. And honestly, I think some people are waiting for confidence before they start becoming that person. When really, confidence comes from becoming that person, not the other way around. So let's get into daydreaming versus embodiment, okay? Because I think there's a difference between fantasizing about a life and actually preparing yourself to live that life. Because daydreaming is very comfortable, okay? The Pinterest boards are comfortable. Vision boards, comfortable. Talking about your future self is comfortable. But embodiment requires action. It requires consistency, discipline, visibility, discomfort, change. And that's usually where people hesitate because becoming a new version of yourself sounds exciting, right? Until it starts requiring you to let go of familiar habits, right? Or until it requires you to outgrow certain people or stop making excuses for yourself, right? And that's the part nobody wants to glamorize, okay? So, I really want people to understand that your identity shapes your life. Okay? So your life definitely tends to follow your identity, meaning if deep down you still identify as someone who is inconsistent, you'll continue acting inconsistently. So if you identify as someone unworthy of healthy love, you're going to tolerate unhealthy dynamics longer than you should. And if you identify as someone who never follows through, you'll keep reinforcing that story. And I really had to start paying attention to the stories I was repeating about myself to myself, okay? Because some people are unintentionally attached to struggling versions of themselves. I know I was, and sometimes I still am. But it's not because people enjoy suffering, right? But it's because those identities feel familiar. And familiar feels safe, even when it's limiting. There have definitely been some seasons where I could see the version of myself I wanted to become. But my habits weren't fully matching her yet. Like, I wanted peace, but I was still entertaining chaos. I wanted confidence, but I was still shrinking in certain spaces. I wanted growth, but I was still procrastinating things that would actually move my life forward. And one thing I can speak on that I'm currently facing now is the body that I want, right? I want to lose this weight. I want to get this more defined Coke bottle body because I got the shape. Don't get me wrong, but there is some little extra leaven on my body that I want to remove. But I sometimes am very inconsistent with what I eat, and I'm very consistent in my workout schedule. And not to say I don't do it, right? I do it, but there'll be times where like I'll burn myself out. And instead of being consistent and slow and steady, I'm pushing myself. I'm going harder, and then I burn out, and then I'm tired, and then I'm just like, yo, okay, let me just like take a break, and then the break becomes a week, and I'm like, shit, I fell off, you know. But I realized that the consistency isn't even just about doing it daily. It's just about getting back up and doing it again, consistently showing up when it matters, right? And so I've been better at not shaming myself. I've been better at showing myself compassion, but also I've been better at saying, okay, we got this rest in, let's time to pick it back up. And it was something that just kind of like clicked in my body. And I had to become honest about that, right? So, because manifestation without embodiment becomes fantasy, right? So, I can want this body all I want, but if I'm not taking it in, if I'm not living in that way, then it's just a dream. It's just a fantasy. And at some point, you have to ask yourself, if I say I want this life, how would the version of me who already has it move differently? And that question changed a lot for me, honestly. Like, it changed a lot. And my mind, like, it shifts. My mind shifts. My thought process has adjusted and evolved. And so I just want you to ask yourself that question. How would the version of me who already has it move differently? How would they move? Now let's get into reinvention and how it's embarrassing sometimes. Can we like normalize something? Reinventing yourself can feel very awkward. I don't know if you felt it, but I felt it because there's this weird in between stage where you're no longer your old self, but you don't fully feel like your new self yet. I just went through that. And during that stage, you might feel uncertain, you might feel inconsistent, you might feel uncomfortable or hyper aware of yourself. And honestly, I'm gonna be real, that's normal. Because I was in it and I was like, what the hell is going on? But that's normal, okay? And it's going to continue to feel unfamiliar before it feels natural. hmm The first time you start speaking up more, it feels weird. You start doubting yourself. You start like, ooh, did I say too much? Or ooh, I shouldn't have said that. It's gonna feel weird. The first time you start dressing differently, definitely feels weird. I'm like, ooh, should I be wearing this? Like this look, is it? I don't know, right? We all get that. And then the first time you start setting boundaries, right? It feels weird. It's like, ooh, am I being like too rigid? No, should I let look? Nah, baby, it's gonna feel weird, but that's good. Or the first time you stop accepting less, right? Like you're no longer accepting bare minimum. Oh, am I being bougie? Like, am I asking for too? No, it's gonna feel weird, y'all. But unfamiliar does not mean it's wrong. It just means it's new. Okay. So when you get comfortable with that embarrassing, that weird stage of reinventing yourself, that's where the confidence is going to be built through that action. Okay. One thing I've learned is that confidence is not something you wait for. Okay. Confidence is evidence. Confidence grows every time you follow through, you keep promises to yourself, you survive uncomfortable situations, and when you show up anyway. That's why avoiding everything that scares you actually weakens confidence over time. Because your brain never gets proof that you can handle things. And honestly, a lot of confidence is just self trust. It's trusting that you can figure it out. It's trusting I can survive discomfort or I can handle being seen and like I can recover from mistakes. That's confidence. Not perfection, but confidence. Okay? So we're in June. right? We are welcoming the new month. We are coming into some new energy. We got that Gemini energy here. And I want you to start building your summer self now. Okay? Because I think a lot of people wait for seasons to magically change them. And by summer, I'll be different, right? Or by next month, I'll glow up. Or by vacation, I'll feel more confident. But the version of you want to experience this summer or for the rest of the year or for the rest of your life is built through your habits right now. So, how you speak to yourself right now, or how you care for yourself right now, how you move right now, or even how you show up right now. And honestly, your glow up is probably less about becoming someone entirely different and more about finally becoming consistent with who you already know you're capable of being. So, with that, I want you to start romanticizing your real life. Because I also think reinvention becomes easier when you stop waiting for your life to become perfect before enjoying it. So, romanticizing your life is not a delusion, right? It's presence. It's being present in the moment. It's buying yourself flowers because you deserve it. It's cleaning your space. It's wearing the outfit, going on the walk, trying that new cafe, taking pictures, playing music while getting ready. It's the small things, but those small things change your energy. The version of you you're dreaming about probably isn't living a completely different life. Maybe they're just more present in it. So, I want you to ask yourself honestly, what habits are keeping me connected to an old version of myself? What would the version of me I admire most do differently this week? And what would happen if I stopped waiting to feel ready and started practicing becoming her right now? You keep daydreaming about a version of yourself for a reason. It's because that version exists within your reach. And not perfectly, not overnight, but through those small decisions, repeated consistently with intention. So stop admiring them from a distance and start becoming them in real time. One decision at a time. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I really hope that this allows you to step into that life and that version of you that you want to be. Next week, we're going to start talking about how we romanticize people who confuse us. We're going to stop it right there, okay? Tune back next week. Until then, have a wonderful rest of this week and hit June off with a jam, okay? Put on your favorite song and just dance to it. All right? Y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later.